Unless you have something else to do right now, you should listen to this whole podcast episode. And as long as you're listening, why not take notes in case you want to use the phrases from this lesson in your daily English.
Welcome to another Happy English podcast coming to you from New York City. And here's your English teacher, Michael.
All right, thank you, John, and thanks, everyone. It's Michael here from Happy English, and I help people speak English better. And this is Happy English Podcast, episode 887. How to use unless, as long as, and in case. Thanks for tuning in, and welcome back to the Happy English Podcast. Now, today's topic actually comes from a question in one of my classes. My student was planning an event, and she said, "We're going to go hiking unless it rains." And that led to a great question. How is unless different from if? So, that's what I want to dig into today. These three little phrases, unless, as long as, and in case, all help us talk about situations that might happen. But they each have a different nuance, and getting them right can make your English sound more natural. Let's start with unless. Unless means if not. Unless is kind of the opposite of if. So if I say, let's go hiking unless it rains, what I really mean is, let's go hiking if it doesn't rain. Again, unless means if not. That's it. Like the other day, my neighbor said he was planning on painting his garage door unless it started raining. Here's another one. I'll go to the mall tomorrow unless the boss makes me work late. So using unless is a great way to talk about something that will happen unless there's a specific reason it won't. Like, I'll be there by 3 o'clock unless there's traffic. And by the way, we also use unless in sentences that already sound negative. Like, we can't start the meeting unless the boss is here. That's totally normal in English. Even though can't is negative and unless kind of means if not, using them together isn't a double negative. It just means if some condition is not met, the other thing won't happen. Like, you won't get into that club unless you're 21. Or, you won't get an 800 on the TOEIC unless you study a little every day. Again, these all mean that if the condition isn't met, the thing won't happen. So yeah, even with a negative verb, unless fits in perfectly. Now here's something to watch out for. Sometimes I hear people say, unless if, like, unless if it rains, but we don't use unless and if like that in English. It's just unless it rains. Nice and clean. All right, next up, let's talk about as long as. As long as means only if, or provided that. You're saying this thing can happen, but only under this condition. Like the other day, my friend said, you can borrow my car as long as you fill up the gas tank afterwards. That's the condition. If I fill up the tank, I can use the car. Or I told my niece, you can go out with your friends as long as you're home by 10. That's the rule. No home by 10, no going out. And here's a fun one. A few months ago, I had lunch with a student who said, Michael, I want to keep practicing English every day as long as I don't get burned out. Totally natural use. He's saying I'll keep going, but only if I can handle it. We use as long as a lot when we're planning something or negotiating with someone. Like when I invited my buddy Ed to the karaoke bar, he was like, sure, I'll go to karaoke with you as long as I don't have to sing. We use that all the time. This phrase helps you set a condition in a friendly, casual way. Now, let's move on to the third one, and this one is different. In case. We use in case to talk about doing something because something else might happen. In case is all about preparing for a possibility. Like, before I left the house this morning, I grabbed my umbrella in case it rains. Not because it's raining now, but because it might rain. Same thing if I say, I brought snacks in case I get hungry later. I'm not hungry now, but it could happen, so I'm ready. This is where in case is different from if. If I say, I'll take an umbrella if it rains, that means I'll decide about taking my umbrella later, when it starts raining. I'll take an umbrella if it rains. But I'll take an umbrella in case it rains means I'm taking it now to prepare for rain. There's a subtle difference in the meaning that you need to be careful about. Here's another example. A friend of mine was hosting a party and she told me, I brought extra drinks in case more people show up. She didn't know how many guests would come, but she was ready. That's in case. Now here's one more. Leave the porch light on in case I get home after dark. That's what I texted my sister when I visited her last year. Again, I'm not saying I will get home after dark, but just in case. It's all about being prepared. Okay, let's do a quick review. Unless means if not. I'll go for a walk unless it rains. As long as means only if. You can go out as long as you're home by 10. And in case means because something might happen. Bring a jacket in case it gets cold. So, here's your challenge. Think about your plans for the next few days. Are you going anywhere? Doing anything? Try making one sentence with each of these expressions, like, I'll join the online class unless my internet goes out. Or, I'll cook dinner as long as you do the dishes. And, I'll leave early in case there's traffic. Try that and make your English just a little more natural this week. And hey, if you want to practice the English from this and all of my podcasts with me and a group of other awesome English learners, come check out my Podcast Learners Study Group. We meet once a week and go over the language from these podcast lessons together. It's a great way to build confidence and improve your speaking. Just check the link below where you are listening to this podcast right now, or visit myhappyenglish.com and choose podcast episode 887 for more info. Hey, thanks for listening, and remember, learning another language is not easy, but it's not impossible, and I'm here to help you on your journey.
This podcast was brought to you by Happy English. Please visit myhappyenglish.com. Show your support for Happy English by leaving us a review. Get English, get happy, Happy English.